Hey, what's up to all my Bi teammates out there and also my B team cheerleaders out there cheering us on. It's your boy here, the American BiGuy, your advocate for justice and also your activist of the Bi community. I'm here today, because I want to talk about a couple things actually. One, the LGBTQ community, and also I want to talk about being bi from the perspective of a black person, and also this idea of crushing over someone. And I know those things kind of seem a little bit kind of choppy, but I'll pull it together for you guys because those are the three things I really want to talk about. So let's dig into it. First, the LGBTQ community. Now, the LGBTQ community does a wonderful thing as being a symbol for people who are lesbian or gay. And recently, trans people have really gotten their mark. But if you're bi or if you are queer or questioning, because there's some debate on what the last Q means, people don't care about you. The community does not care about you. They don't believe that you're real. They don't believe that you are bisexual or that you can be bisexual. And it's really messed up because I don't expect anybody to call it out because oftentimes people don't really care about things that they don't have an interest in. And the community doesn't have much of an interest in bi people. The trans community had their movement and that's great. And they're still, doing great things and breaking records. However, as a bi person, it's been very difficult to try to carve that place out in the community that doesn't care about you. And I'm going to be very real with you guys here. As someone who's lived in that community, I feel as though I'm, qualified to talk about it. I don't expect somebody that's straight to come along and talk about it because, quite frankly, they don't know the lifestyle. I meet so many of my teammates who are clueless on what the LGBTQ community is, and those that aren't so clueless give me reasons why they don't or why they're apprehensive to even join the community. So I'm going to call it out. LGBTQ community, great as a symbol. However, once you peel back them layers, you learn real quick that they don't give a damn about you if you're bi. And also, even amongst each other, there's so much hatred and animosity towards each other and so much discrimination. The LGBTQ community really gets away with doing things that straight people would be really ridiculed, backlash, and all. Fired from their job. Really get a lot of backlash for doing some of the things on the forefront. Like, for instance, saying no blacks. If somebody was straight walking around telling somebody, I don't like, I'm not interested in black people or I'm not interested in white, then people would definitely come after them. The ironic thing and the hypocrisy behind it is that the LGBTQ community is there with the rainbow and everything in between, but, they get away with being very discriminatory and nobody talks about it. And then we know it's a problem because they just had the recent addition of the black and the brown stripe to the flag, which till this day, you don't really see it too often. You still see the same flag, So with that being said, I don't feel comfortable, directing and orchestrating my teammates into a community that's not going to truly accept them and really have a place for them to be who they are. Because I feel the community is going to do more harm than good because what happens is they look at you and they say, oh, you're denial. I used to be like you. Give it time. All sorts of things, right? And so that's really where, I feel like I can't talk about it without actually addressing the elephant in the room. Then we have the layer of being black. And then we have the layer of being black and bisexual. And then being white and bisexual, or being gay, and then and white or black and gay. And I draw this parallel distinction because recently, you have Niecy Nash. And anybody out there who doesn't know what Niecy Nash is, she's a beautiful actress, black woman, she's from Reno 911 and Claws and a couple other series. Great. She recently came forward with her story of how she ended up marrying her current wife, or as Niecy Nash puts it, her husband, Jessica Betts. And Niecy Nash was formerly married to 2 men. She's a mother of 3. The first husband she was married to for 17 years, and he was a pastor, which in turn made her a first lady of a church. So her coming forward on the red table and sharing her story of how she found a beautiful soul and how this soul just happens to be a woman, and she was like, you know what, I love this soul. I don't want this person to not be in my life. So she married Jessica Betts, after having been married to 2 men and being a black woman and also being a mother of 3 and also a former first lady. That's a powerful role she's in. She also talks about how, now that she's done it, she's like, well, where is everybody? She's like, I don't really know what's going on here. I didn't get a welcome package from nobody. She's like, I don't get... she's hitting another major point, that being black and then being bisexual. Being bisexual, one, there's nothing there, right, in the LGBT community. And then being black, like, okay, no one's really talking about it. But not only just her, but she does this on the show called The Red Table, which is hosted by Jada Pinkett Smith and her daughter, Willow Smith, and Jada's mother. And they talk about, how they were having, they've had crushes on women. Jada opens up, she's like, yeah, there's been two particular women, and Willow as well. And even Jada's mother really comes forward sharing, yeah, she's thought about it. And so I think that that's really important to understand, that it's okay to have a crush on somebody. Doesn't mean that you're bisexual. But as Niecy Nash puts it on the show, she says she allowed herself to be in her feelings of how she was feeling. She allowed herself to be true to her feelings, and that she feels free because Jada asked her if she's a lesbian. Watch the show. I think that you'll get a lot from it. But I bring that up because you had Katy Perry back in 2007. And she was a preacher's daughter, and she came forward and she was like, "Oh, I kissed a girl and I liked it." And now look at her today. Right, I think it was 2008 or 2007. I was an undergrad during that time, so I just remember the decade, the time period. But she reached, look at her, that skyrocketed her career. But here is, you have Niecy Nash, a black woman with everything I just mentioned before, and then all of a sudden you now have crickets, and even Jada, like I said, and Willow coming forward. But not only just her, you also have the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Love these women. Been watching them since I was in undergrad, when I was in grad school, when I was in law school. They have truly inspired and encouraged me on so many levels, and a lot of people watch it for just entertainment, but I get a lot more from them. I have been getting so much from them because I love watching these black women be pioneers and really cross, the threshold and make boss moves, but they also have been really talking about, toying with the whole bisexual thing, and nobody's giving them a platform. Portia Williams in the recent season was caught making out with a YouTuber on the show called LaToya. Was supposed to be off camera, was doing Cynthia Bailey's bachelorette party with some dude there named Bolo with a really big penis, okay? That's it's supposed to be really big. I don't know. They don't show it in the show, but you get the idea. You can look it up if you want to find out. But during this time, they're having a great time. It was supposed to be after the cameras had left, and Portia seen kissing, and I think somebody asked her, "Are you bisexual?" They're like, "Are you a whole bisexual?" And she's like, "Tonight I am." Not Portia Williams' first time. Portia Williams, beautiful black woman, a mother, an activist, for civil rights, and marched on there for Breonna Taylor, has history of civil rights in her family, great icon, wonderful person, and even, and she's not her first time, like I said, but before kissing women. Kandi Burruss did the same thing. Well, not the exact same thing, but Kandi Burruss has toyed with the idea, talking about sticking her foot in the lady pond. Cynthia Bailey's daughter Noelle. These are all black pioneer women. And like I said, I'm not at all trying to disparage them, but thank them for sharing their life with the world and bringing forth my community. And I do believe that on the show, some of them are my teammates, okay? They might be on the more straightish end, but they're definitely my teammates. And at the same time, they're not getting the platform and the recognition for what they're doing and how they're talking about bisexuality. They're not doing, no one's giving them that platform. They're doing it. You're talking about the sexual tension that builds when you crush on somebody. Even Kenya Moore. I love Kenya Moore just as much. I love all the women who've been on the show. She says, "Oh yeah, I had a crush on LaToya, in the recent season." And then, her character does some cool, interesting things, about how she tried to call out some things that happened. And like I said, I'm not here to talk about, a synopsis of the show. But what I'm bringing forward is that these women are black women, and they are in Georgia. So, there's a Southern thing. There's the Christian thing, the overtones of that. And then they also are breaking barriers. And nobody is giving them a platform to say, well done, good for you. You're actually, pointing out something that needs to be pointed out. They're doing it. Whether they want to or not, whether they're doing it for good TV or they really are who they are. And I really think some of them are my teammates. They really are on my team on some perspective. So I think that we really need to take a step back because, like I said before, all it took for Katy Perry to say, "I kissed a girl and liked it." She was a preacher's daughter, and look at her. But meanwhile, Niecy Nash, talks about it. Jada, Willow, Portia Williams, Kandi Burruss, Kenya Moore, LaToya, they are bringing to the fore. And another thing is that women have, for the most part in America, had a little bit more sexual freedom when it came to the same sex. We could talk about that double standard on another show because it's weird because it's like almost idolized for women to make out and be attracted to one another, but when it comes to them sleeping with men and being, having sexual freedom, they're everything but a child of God. So we could talk about the whole subject, and it's not fair. But what I will say is that, just by them being nature of who they are, they have done something great, and I really wish people would give them more of a platform because you have, not very many men doing that. You have men out there who are kind of making, money off of it, like Dallas Flashman Wade. He's like this guy who I just saw today. He like bought a house, like good for him. But he was also on Catfish. Very attractive biracial guy. Got a huge ass. He got a big butt. Okay, he's got a nice butt. But he's not packing in the front. From what I understand, hey, it's not my thing. But hey, to each your own. God bless him. But at the same time, he gets catfished by a gay man who falls for him, and he's doing a lot. I believe that Dallas Flashman Wade is on my team. He is a teammate, and I understand why he's not come forward and said he's bisexual, because there's not much there. But at the same time, it's like, well, what do you have to lose? You put everything, every inch of your body on every photo and video that you can. You're making money off of it. Well, at this point, you might as well turn all that into something good. You can research him, but he's not doing it. Then you have people like Andrew Gillum, who just came out a couple months ago where he was found on a hotel floor with a male escort in there, after he lost. Andrew Gillum, I think he lost like the governor's race in Florida. Pretty big deal. He said he sunk into a depression. He went on Tamron Hall and identified as bisexual. He's a black man. He's married to a woman. He has several kids. But nothing happened after that. And so I think that either people are trying, the black community is trying to ignore it. And I think we're at that point now where it's coming forward and that, we don't know what to do and we need to have a conversation. So as your American bi guy and your actor for the black community, I'm going to talk about it. We have bisexuality is nothing new under the sun. People are bisexual. There are a lot of my teammates out there. But like I said before, I don't feel comfortable orchestrating, my teammates into a community that doesn't accept them. Because the LGBTQ community does not at all, accept bi people or even have a space for us. And the crazy thing about it is that we have this huge movement to erase pronouns. He, she, and call me they. And I'm not at all trying to quiet the movement. But my thing is, that's a very far-reaching goal, and they're doing it. But when it comes to something as being bi, nothing. Nothing at all. Like an unwillingness to even almost support it. And I find more support, actually, I found a lot more support with individuals who said they're straight, identify as straight, or straight-ish, on the spectrum. For instance, in the gym. You catch me in the gym, you're going to catch me rocking my BiGuy sportswear, living my best life, turning up in the gym, lifting as much weight as I can, more than anybody in there if I can, and having my bi pride. And I've had a lot of teammates come up to me in the gym and be like, yo, I feel that. I support that. I'm definitely one of your teammates, or I'm definitely, and they'll come a lot more direct. No, they'll say, yeah, I think I'm on the B team. They'll say I'm 80-20, I'm 90-10. But there's nothing there. And so I live in a world where I want to conjure the world I want to live in. I'm going to dream up and I'm going to do everything I can to share, with everybody my understanding of, the bi community and also build one. Because I feel as though it's long overdue. And I don't want to hurt anybody, I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I want to be very brutal and very honest with it. Because it is what it is. I can't get around the elephant in the room is that the community doesn't accept me. And if the LGBTQ community will open their doors to the bi community, let me tell you right now, the teammates I know and that I've been, I network with, they are some very good looking people, okay? And it would be an asset, to know that they are definitely, somebody that you can pursue on a romantic basis or a sexual basis, whatever, what have you, but we usually hide like vampires and werewolves, and we transform when we want to. And so I think that, I need help doing it, so if you are somebody who's a teammate, or you are one of our cheerleaders, reach out to me so that way we can definitely, have a conversation, we can grow it, because let me tell you right now, there are so many of us. I have so many stories, to share with you guys about, my teammates, who told me, and I'm never going to tell who they are, ever. I'm just letting you know that, that if you're my, position as a black man doesn't resonate with you, that if you're sitting in there, you're Middle Eastern, you're sitting up there, you're Jewish or you're white, what have you, and you know that you're on the B team of the spectrum, you're not alone. And so I've met so many people, that I just want to spread love. I met this one guy even told me, that he met me, we were talking, he said, bro, it's so crazy I meet you because he had just lost a friend who had committed suicide. And one of the reasons his friend, he knew he was struggling, was because he was bisexual and he didn't understand it, and he was very tired. And there were some other things in that, but he had said, it's so good to meet somebody like you, because his friend had just done it a couple of days before he met me. And so when I heard that to me was like, what, I need to do more. I need to, we need to do more videos, we need to put more out there to let people know that it is okay. You are who you are. You're born who you are born to be. Like Lady Gaga said, you are, and it's crazy, like I said before, the platforms that people get and what they do with those platforms, and how because of the color of your skin you can reach a higher level, or you can have more of an impact, but like I said before, it's out there. Like I said, Nickelodeon has it with their Airbender, the Legend of Korra. Character was bisexual. Like I said, Netflix did it with their Striking Vipers episode with two black men, who were friends, and they end up getting a video game and having sex with each other, and really trying to understand how do I operate in the real world as a black straight man, but at the same time I have feelings for my friend that I like to actually have sex with them in a video game. It's very interesting where we are, and so I'm going to do what I can to spearhead the conversation, to bring it to the forefront, and it's going to be pretty, and sometimes it's not going to be so pretty, but at the end of the day, that's pretty much what we have for you on American BiGuy series this time. I'll see you guys next time.